So the first collection is actually visible before you even walk into the exhibition. So Guirong Wei is a wallpaper made of thousands of tiny portraits. He had collected this over many years from school yearbooks, and they were scanned and then reduced in size to create a wallpaper. They look like dots, but as you get closer and closer, as you can see, it's loads of like faces. So this work really explores the relationship between the individual and the collective, and I thought it was really cool that it was kind of commemorating that before you even walk in. So this piece is called Home Within Home, and it shows his childhood Hanok home nestling in a 19th century house of rented apartments. It's the first place he lodged in the US as a student, and it's really cool that he's been kind of using these different tools like 3D scanning to combine the two buildings. And it's really awesome to see like the backstory of this. It's actually influenced by his recurring dream in which his Hanok home flew over the Pacific Ocean and crashed into this building using an emergency parachute. And you can show that kind of these buildings are in this constant like negotiation with one another, and you don't know really if the Hanok is growing from the interior of the house or it has been transplanted within it. This was an exercise he did with his two children, with his wife, where he had asked his 8 and 10-year-old at that time to choose the objects that they found the most significant. And yeah, this piece is called Time Pockets. So this next piece is inspired by the act of folding and packing away certain spaces with us. So he sews threads into tissue paper to create these kind of one-to-one scale models. He does this by placing the tissue and threads onto wet sheets of paper, and the tissue collapses, part dissolved. So you can see this kind of translucency in the piece. So this is called The Perfect Home. Inside, he's revealing fixtures and appliances from multiple places he and his family have inhabited over the years. I think it's my product design background. I love how humble the objects he decided to highlight to show the feeling of how even the most simplest actions in your everyday can be disrupted when you move. This project is called Rubbing Loving Project, and this is one of the 3 pieces a part of the exhibition. He says in his own words, "The instant I've masked a surface, I can no longer remember what's exactly behind it. I'm aware that I know what's under the paper, but I can't have access to the memory." The next piece is actually the piece I went to the exhibition for. I had discovered this when I had first moved to Korea and I was trying to learn the language, so I was watching loads of films. I fell in love with cinema as a creative, and this incredible movie called A Taxi Driver. It's loosely based on the events. It's about a taxi driver who drives a German reporter from Seoul to cover the 1980 uprising. It's an incredible way how Suh and his team were blindfolded to represent the suppressing of the protest once it was over. So the government tried to censor what had happened. So you see this in the way Suh approaches this project, where he's covered his eyes and he's gone in and he's rubbed the surface, creating a trace of the wall's texture. So I never thought I would be able to say that I have seen a hanok in the middle of London. So this piece really excited me. And what was really lovely about how he described this was that the hanok house has always followed him through his work. So he went back to his home and he wrapped the exterior of the building in mulberry paper, rubbing over it with graphite to create a portable trace. As you can see, it's super labor intensive, but Suh was able to capture really tiny details such as the texture of the wood and the decorative features. He then left the paper on the house for 9 months so it could gather the traces of the environment around it. So you can see there's moisture and soil really bringing in the environment that it was within. He then peeled it off to basically put it together in an aluminium frame. Through this, he's exploring whether a site is movable, because at the end, he then explains that it's actually a play on the lack of distinction between the letters R and L in the Korean language, which I can definitely connect with when learning the language, and something he recognizes when switching between Korean and English is a very tough distinction.